Okay guys, welcome back. So in the last video I talked about a relationship between the gravitational acceleration and the distance. I talked about a simple example in which we calculated the gravitational acceleration of the moon as compared to that of the earth. So that was a simple example. So in this video I will be talking about another concept in gravitation, which is the gravitational potential energy. Alright, so the topic is gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy. Right? Gravitational potential energy. So what is meant by the gravitational potential energy? Now you know that there are two types of potential energies. The first type is the gravitational potential energy, you normally call the potential energy in mechanics and the other sums. And the other thing is the elastic potential energy. Now the elastic potential energy is present in springs and other things where there's an elastic, where there's a stretching or a compression, right? So the gravitational potential energy of an object is due to the gravity acting upon an object when it is somewhat placed above a surface. For example, if we take the earth, say an object of 8 kilograms was taken to a height of 10 meters above the earth, its gravitational potential energy, as we know, is mgh. So that's the simple calculation. Mgh is equal to the weight of the object, which is 10, and the gravitational acceleration, which is also 10. I'll take it as 10, and the height of the object is 10. So the gravitational potential energy, as we calculated from the mechanics, is 8 times 10 times 10, which is 800 joules. Alright. So that's the gravitational potential energy of an object when you are measuring from a certain degree. So that is not actually the gravitational potential energy. That is the gravitational potential energy actually you understood from mechanics. But the gravitational potential energy of an object is not actually equal to mgh. That is actually due to the difference of gravitational potential energy. The gravitational potential energy of an object at some point is some other thing. So to define gravitational potential energy, we need 2 points, so that an object is translated from one point to the other. So I'll take one point here as A, one point here as A, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring an object from infinity. So infinity is somewhere, I can draw it, right? So I'm going to bring an object. I'll just draw an arrow so that to denote that I'm bringing this object here. So I'm just bringing this object from infinity to this point, right? So if I bring an object from infinity to this point, now you know that if you have the earth like this, if you take this object here, the gravitational potential energy, I'll take it as PE1, and if you take it to another higher point somewhere here, I'll take the gravitational potential energy to be PE2, right? Now from the simple theory, which is the simple theory learned in mechanics, which is W equals mgh, you know that when the height increases from a fixed point, now if the earth is the fixed point, when the height is increased, when the height of the object, the height to which the object is being taken is increased from this fixed point. For example, the height of the ball is increased from the earth. The distance between the earth and the ball is increased. You know that the potential energy from the basic theory you learned in mechanics, that the potential energy increases. So what it actually happens is that if you increase the distance between these 2 points, or the distance between this object and the earth, actually the potential energy increases. Alright, so if the potential energy is increased when the distance between this fixed point and this point is increased, at infinity is the maximum height, to which you can take this object. At the infinity, what it actually happens is that the gravitational potential energy of this object is also infinity, because W equals mg times h. So when h is infinity, W equals mg times infinity, which is also infinity. So the gravitational potential energy at infinity will be infinity, and the gravitational potential energy at some point A here will be of some value, but that is the finite value, right? So don't say that infinity is a finite value. Infinity is just a concept, right? If I take the earth to be like this, so this is the earth and this is the center of mass of the earth, center of mass. So what it actually happens is that now I'm going to measure the distance. I'm going to measure the distance between this point and the earth. I'll take this distance to be h, right? H means the distance from the surface of the earth to this point, right? And the radius of the earth to be r. And the radius of the earth to be r. Alright. So the distance from the center of mass to this point is now r plus h, right? So this is r and this is h. So the distance is r plus h. Alright. So we can calculate the potential energy. So what I am saying is, this is h and this is r. Right. So we define the gravitational potential energy as the change in the direction, change in the height between these 2 points. And what is the definition about the gravitational potential energy is that gravitational potential energy of a body about a point in a gravitational field is the work done by an external agent in moving the body from infinity to that point. Alright, so there are some terms that should be described here. So the first term is what is meant by an external agent. External agent. So what is meant by an external agent? So an external agent is any body. Any body means any object, right? Any object or any system or anything which does some work on another system. So that's called an external agent. So external agent you could have find that in the subject matter of physics, heat theory also. The external agent. So external agent is not actually an agent. It's just either a system, a body, or a plane, or anything that does work on behalf of another. On another. Alright, so that's an external agent. So the next term you want to understand is what is meant by the gravitational field. Now, in the first part of this video, in the second video, I explained to you about the concept of the gravitational field and the gravitational field constant and the gravitational intensity or the value of E, right? Commonly called the gravitational field strength. So the gravitational field is now, if you take the earth to be like this, object like this, the gravitational field is such that now if an object is like this, Earth's gravitational field is always toward the center of the earth. Like this, right? The gravitational field. So any object inside this Earth's gravitational field will experience, like the object is like this, any object inside the gravitational field of the earth will experience this force or will experience the field strength as exerted by the earth on this object. So that is the gravitational field. So the next term is infinity that I described here, and the next term is this point. So we can define the gravitational potential energy, and we can easily take equation or deduction or simple formula in order to understand gravitational potential energy and why gravitational potential energy is important, what importance does it play when we are solving problems regarding gravitation. Alright. So the first thing is that the definition is the gravitational potential energy of a point at a point, right? The gravitational potential energy of a body at a point. So the point will be A. I'll take the point to be A. So the gravitational potential energy of a body at a point in a gravitational field, this is the Earth gravitational field, is the work done by an external agent. So the external agent is the agent, as I mentioned, that does work on the other object. Now this object can't do work on the Earth, but the Earth does the work on the object. So that's in this system composing of this object and the Earth, the external agent is the Earth. So the external agent is the earth in external agent in moving the body from infinity to that point. Alright, from infinity is somewhere here, to that point. Alright, so the gravitational potential energy of a body is the work done. Now infinity is some point here, some point you can actually define it, you can draw it. Infinity is some point here, you bring the body from infinity to this point. So the work done by the earth, now if you consider the ball and the earth system, the work done by the earth from bringing this object from infinity to this point is called the gravitational potential energy. We define the gravitational potential energy at infinity because it is infinity, so we don't have a finite value. So now this is the general definition. This is the general definition. So we can define the gravitational potential at any point, and we can take how much work is done when an object is moving from one point to another point. Say this point is A and another point here, as I take it as B. I'll take it as B. So what is the work needed? What is the amount of work needed to carry this object from this object to this object in Earth's gravitational field? So that's a simple one. So that's just a deduction that I will do in the next video on gravitation videos. So the gravitational potential energy is expressed as U equals minus G times the product of the masses divided by R. Now this is not R square, right? This is not R square. This is just a definition, right? You can derive it from calculus and the other stuff. But I will not derive this equation now. Well, what I will do is I will just mention you how this comes. So what will actually happen is that when R is equal to infinity, when R is actually the distance, right? So if you are taking here, this will be R plus H. R will be R plus H. At infinity, the gravitational potential energy will be approximately 0, right? The gravitational potential energy will be approximately 0. So what it actually happens is that you are taking an object from 0 gravitational potential energy to this point which has some gravitational potential energy. So what it actually happens, we are taking infinity. Now you can see from this equation that we are taking infinity as a reference point is because the gravitational potential energy at the infinity is 0. So what I actually doing is just like you are traveling in some number line or something, you are traveling from 0 to a point, but this value is minus, right? Why is this minus? Is that the gravitational potential energy is always negative because the work is always done by the gravitational field. Because now this is the gravitational field, experienced by this object. Now the work is always done by this object, the earth in this example. The work is always done by this object. Now actually the gravitational potential energy is not faced by the earth. The gravitational potential energy is faced by the object in Earth's gravitational field. So the work is not done by the object that is experienced in the gravitational field, but by the object that is exerting the gravitational field. So what we do is we exert this to be minus, right? If you take the work energy theorem, if you put W equals U1 plus U2, the work done by this object, now the total work done should be 0 because So work done by this object is U1, and the work done by the Earth system is G capital M simple M by R. You will find that U1 equals minus G simple M capital M divided by R. So that is the derivation, simple derivation, right? This is not a standard method, this is just for explaining, right? Alright, so that is the simple thing. Alright, so that is the simple expression of the gravitational potential energy. And now I will do another sum here. Now what about, now I will take an object, the Earth to be like this, right? The Earth to be like this, and another point A here, which is I will take this distance to be R, right? And another point here B, right? Another point here B, and its distance from the center of the Earth to be R plus H. R plus H, right? So this distance is actually, now if these two are online, right, in a single line, if you can represent A directly, B directly over A, you can say that this distance is actually h, right? This distance is actually h, right? So what it actually happens is, you are taking an object is at a distance of r from the center of mass, so it will have some potential energy as experienced, as mentioned by this equation. And this object, when what I actually doing is that this object already has some value of gravitational potential energy, and we are shifting this object another distance into another distance of h upwards, so that its gravitational potential energy will change. So we have to find what is the work done when translating this object to a distance of h in the Earth's gravitational field. Alright, so you know, if you put the gravitational equation to point A, you can say UA is equal to minus G times capital M times simple M divided by R, and UB is equal to now minus G times capital M simple M divided by the distance between these 2 points is R plus H, right, R plus H. So the work done by an object which is translating from A to B is equal to, right, so the work done is actually a scale. So what we have to do is, now this value, this R, so this value R, when you increase the value of R to R plus H, this value will actually decrease. So what we have to do is that we have to decrease this point from UA from UB, because we are not taking the absolute value, but the work has to be positive. So this value, this minus GMM divided by R plus H, will be a smaller value as compared to minus GMM divided by R. So we have to we have to deduct the larger value from the smaller value to get a positive answer, because work done is normally a scalar, right? So what I'll do is I'll deduct this one, UA from UB, sorry, UB from UA minus UB. So this is minus G capital M simple M divided by R, minus, this is minus G capital M simple M divided by R plus H. So this minus times minus will become positive, and I can take G times capital M times simple M out of this equation. So G times capital M times simple M out of this equation. So here will be 1 upon R plus H, minus, this will be minus 1 upon R, right, minus 1 upon R. You can simplify this, so this will be R minus R plus H, so that will be H, the numerator, when you are taking the common fraction or the common denominator from these two fractions, the numerator, when you are solving that, the numerator will be R minus R plus H, which will be R minus H, so that will be minus, right? So the work done is G capital M, work done is G capital M simple M minus times H divided by R times R plus H. So this is the one, right? This is the equation that we are normally getting. So what will happen is that now you know that G equals Gm by R square, right? G equals Gm by R square. So you can say Gr square is equal to Gm. You can simplify this. You can say Gm equals Gr square. So 1 R square will be cancelled to this one. So what it actually happens is that this one will be approximately equal to, M times G times H, right? Because if you are taking H to be a very small value, R plus H is R square, R plus H is R, right? So you can say R plus H is approximately equal to R. So R plus H times R is R square, and that R square will cancel with the R square, Gr squared here. So R square times R square is cancelled. So the work is approximately equal to mgh. So that is the general equation that you will be deriving in the general mechanics and the solutions in mechanics and the other problems when you are taking the gravitational potential energy. So that is the equation that W equals mgh. Now you know that the gravitational potential energy, which is W equals mgh, is actually not the gravitational potential energy of an object due to some point. Say an object is 10 meters high from the Earth's surface, the gravitational potential energy is m times g times 10, which is 10 mg. So that is not actually the gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy, if the gravitational potential energy W equals mgh, mgh is actually the difference of energies. The difference of energy due to the gravity acting on an object, and the object is translating under gravity to some height h upwards or downwards. So W equals mgh is actually a derivation from the difference of energies. So at the actual equation is u equals minus g times m times simple m divided by r, and the value of the u is minus because the gravitational potential energy is always negative, because the work is always done by the gravitational field, not by the body in the field, right? Alright, so in this video I talked about the theory of gravitational potential energy and how we can derive a simple solution for the gravitational potential energy, and how gravitational potential energy can be used to derive the normal equation that we are used in mechanics by using the difference of gravitational potential energies at different points, and the gravitational potential energy, how gravitational potential energy is useful in the calculations. Alright, so in the next video I will be talking about another theory. So that is about the gravitational potential at a point. So the gravitational potential energy is somewhat of an energy. So the gravitational potential at a point is somewhat different from the gravitational potential energy, and that I will be discussing in the next video. And thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you then.